Good morning. Finance is a backbone of any business as well as an individual. Without finance, we will not be able to even start a venture. We cannot live in this world. As finance, when we say, we just think that it's all numbers, balance sheet, profit and loss account, cash flow, and all those things. But what it conveys, and why the corporates are preparing all this information, and who are all looking for the numbers, who are all the stakeholders. If we look at it, as an individual also, we are more concerned about our own finance. Today's environment, everyone will be having at least one credit card, one debit card, at least one. So when you buy some item, you just charge, just sign, or just enter, draw money. If you don't pay it on time, what the credit card companies are doing, how you are going to plan your payment. If you are not paying on time, the interest is going to be so high, you are going to get into trap. Same thing case with the business. Any business when you start, unless the company is planning what is their long-term requirement, what is their short-term requirement, working capital, how they are going to manage. All these informations we will be able to get only from the financial statement. That is why financial statements are required. Based on the financial statement, we will be able to evaluate what is the business competitive position, to what extent their market share is there, to what extent they are having growth, whether they are having a sustainable growth, sustainability for the short term, long term, how they are going to do it. Based on interpretation, the management, the investors can also analyze whether the company can grow in what area, what are the growth opportunities, if they grow, what will be the profitability. Without profit, no one wants to grow or even stay in the business. Under decision making, whether to divert the funds to some other business, which product, which market, which sector, which segment is giving the profitability. So all these informations, the purpose is periodical review. The management presents it. When we say the management presents it, there should be some background we have to work out. Whoever is preparing, they will be having their own assumptions, their own presumptions. For what purpose they are preparing the statement, it will be there. That's why the audit and all those things are today's environment. There is an internal audit, internal control system, the external statutory audit, and the cost audit and management audit, including central excise customs. So many people are involving audit. So today, based on even the income tax report, the central excise people are able to get checking what is the turnover, based on the turnover whether the company has paid the central excise. So today, when the companies are following SAP or Oracle, any ERP packages, one statement is linked to other. Of course, same like Satyam, if someone wants to manipulate, it has to be done in a consistent and systematic way, or else things will come out. Application of accounting techniques, for example, depreciation. I can provide the depreciation on some percentage, others can provide on some percentage and different methods. But of course, income tax allows certain methods and the company law allows certain methods, but the company for its own preparation can follow any system. Inventory valuation. How we are going to value the inventory, whether it is on purchase price or it's today's price or weighted average, all those things give some assumptions wherein we have to get the information from the notes and from the auditor's report, so that we will be able to analyze what are the assumptions the company has made. It involves producing and interpreting accounting strategic information in order to assist management, maximizing efficiency and all this. So nature of accounting information, it gives what all the economic activities it describes and dealing with information most relevant for making various types of decisions. Whether the company has to borrow. For example, the company might have applied for working capital. The bankers will be able to analyze whether the company will be able to get revenue in the short term. Revenue in the sense, the profit is different from revenue. The profit is different from cash flow. Unless the company is having the cash flow, they may not be able to repay to the bankers or the investor. So the analysis of factors that drive unit cost in each of firm's activities, divisions, units, strategic business units. Whatever you have studied in strategic management, the strategic business units is more important. The division segmental profit is very important. So now basically the accounts are financial accounting, cost accounting and management accounting. Financial accounting deals with the company's income for a period. It can be monthly, quarterly, half yearly and annual. What happens in the past? What is its income and what is its expenses and what it stands as of today on the assets and the liabilities. All those things are classified into different segments. What is a company's operating income, non-operating income, investment income, those things are classified. Same way the expenses. What is its variable expenses? What are its fixed expenses? Which expenses will be semi-variable? So what are all the things, even if the company doesn't operate, it has to incur. Those classification will be done. On the other hand, the cost accounting deals with how much it will cost to produce a product instead of what did it cost. Today the environment is very competitive. For example, today you can buy a laptop for 25,000. After 6 months, what will be its price? The advanced technology, advanced model you can get for the same price. The present model price will be going down. So in this competitive environment, the company, how they are going to price? Today the selling price is fixed. It is going down. It is fixed by the market forces, the competitors and the buyers and the demand. On the other hand, the profit is also fixed by the investor. The shareholders require dividend. The investor requires interest, whether it's a long term or short term. Profit also fixed. Only cost is a variable. So on the cost only, the company, the business people has to manage and how to reduce the cost. The term target costing will be able to provide the business people how, in what area they can reduce the cost. So management accounting takes into account all these aspects and provide the company to formulate the strategy, planning and control, decision making and how efficiently they have to use the resources. Whether it's a human resources, whether it is machinery, equipment, plant, how important it is. Safeguarding the tangible and intangible assets, including company's brand value, company's all assets, whether it is tangible, intangible, machinery, stock, and what will happen in case of any unforeseen circumstances comes, whether they have to take the insurance. For in the name of protecting, if they take over insurance, they have to pay the premium. If the premium is high, it will be having impact on the profit. And in any other way, can they mitigate the loss? Can they coordinate with other companies and able to reduce the loss? Safeguarding the tangible and intangible assets, including the brand value, image and all aspects. And corporate governance and internal control. Today, India Ministry of Corporate Affairs emphasize the corporate governance and it has been brought into legal way also by amending the listing agreement with stock exchanges. Clause 49 of the listing agreement has been amended and Ministry is giving so much significance, so much importance to corporate governance. Today, environment, the companies are looking at not only the bottom line, 1P, triple P they are looking at profit, planet and people. Unless the profit is there, the business will not be able to survive. Unless the planet exists, the environmental protection, all those things there is no long-term growth. Same way the people, the human resource management, all the three are required for the business, which will be revealed by income statement. Then position statement is a balance sheet, where it stands, what is its long-term assets, what are all its current assets, how the current assets will be able to meet the current liability, what are all the owner's funds, how it is standing. And the cash flow statement, how much cash is generated in a particular period. The company can have huge turnover. The company can have huge profit. But if it doesn't have the cash flow, the company will not be able to survive for short term. So the beginning cash balance and the ending cash balance reflects in cash flow statement. For example, the company can have huge inventory. In the end, if they are reducing the inventory, they have generated funds by selling the opening inventory. Even though if the current sales, current production may not be high, they may have a cash flow, though the profitability may be less. Same way it can be the other way, the company can have higher sales, but if the inventory in the end becomes higher, they may not have cash flow because they have paid or paid to the creditors or suppliers for buying the inventory. So all these statements are interlinked. So from the profit and loss account and trading account, we will be able to get how large the firm's claims, how much is the volume. For example, take any supermarket and what is their turnover. So whether this turnover is comparing with in the same way, same location, same area, what is the other person's turnover. Take cement companies. What is their turnover of the cement companies, whether they are large, how much their market share is there. Based on the turnover, we will be able to get how much is a profit, the gross profit. What is the gross profit ratio, how much they are making. So whether they are profitable compared to the other businesses. And what are the profitable levels of each organization in the industry. Normally from the industry organizations, we will be able to get industry profitability, industry numbers. Even though it may not be 100% accurate, it will be providing us the guideline. Based on the industry averages, we can verify whether our company, whether our organization is in the right direction or it has to improve. When compared to similar organizations in the same business, whether the organization is making higher profit or lesser profit. And what all the trend of profitability, whether it is growing. The turnover may be increasing. Assume that the turnover is increasing by 50%. The profitability should increase more than 50% because the fixed expenses have been covered. Unless the gross profit increases higher than the previous period, the company has reduced the selling prices. But unless the company reduces selling price to the certain extent, the growth volume will not be there. By reducing the price, they are increasing the volume, but what is the profitability? Whether the profit is also growing simultaneously. Those things we will be able to compare. And income received includes interest, dividend on investment, scrap sales, on all those activities. So the gross profit will be giving us by operating in the business how much profit is generated. On the other hand, net profit will be giving us what is the other income also added and other expenses also deducted, including the dividend payment, tax payment, and all those things are deducted. So when you are seeing the profit and loss account or income statement, just look for what is the turnover, what is the direct cost and direct expenses, and how much gross profit they are generating, and what are all the fixed expenses which is coming below trading account, and how significant those fixed expenses, and what will, if there is a change in turnover reducing, will the fixed expenses, as the fixed expenses will not be changing, so what will be the impact. So gross profit and net profit and operating profit will be giving us the picture how best they are using their economic resources. Same way the balance sheet gives us the assets and liability position, how much they have borrowed in the long term, how much they have borrowed in the short term, and whether they are able to meet the current requirement by the current assets. Maybe they may be having the huge inventory. To converting the inventory into cash, they have to sell it on credit. The debtors will be paying after some time. The buyers will be paying after some time, so that the period will be longer. On the other hand, if the current asset consists of more of receivable, more of bank and cash balances, the company is highly liquid. So that analysis we should be able to make whether it will be able to meet all its immediate requirements by realizing from the normal operations. So whole thing we can summarize as what is the income in the current period, which is going into the balance sheet, assets and liabilities, which will be again reflected in cash flow. What is the operating cash flow, and what is the net results of investment, and what is the net result of financing. Investment, they may be buying the new asset, or they may be selling the assets which they are may not be in use, may not be required. Even most of the companies are what they are doing today is they are selling and leasing it back, so that their operations are not hindered. They are able to generate cash by selling the old assets. The reason is that they would have got the assets long time before. Assume the company which has started in 1950, they would have bought the land and the buildings at 1950 price. Today the price has increased more than thousands of times. So if they are able to sell, they are able to generate huge cash in which they will be able to invest and generate more profit and diversify also. In the same time, if they are leasing back for 99 years, the cash flow will be less, so they will be having operating inflow. So what all the equation will be? We always say that for every debit there is a corresponding credit. So the assets and the liabilities will be equal. The liability includes owner's equity also. As a business is concerned, business we are treating as a separate entity. So that whatever the proprietors has invested, they have to repay back. So it's treated as a liability in this one, but it belongs to the shareholders when calculating the net worth, the total share capital or the owner's investment plus accumulated profit and reserve. Why we need interpretation of the statement? For interpreting the statement, we don't have to, the non-finance executive need not have what is a debit, what is a credit, what is a bank reconciliation and all those aspects. They need to know only what is a income statement reveals, what is a balance sheet reveals, whether the company is having adequate cash flow. So the statements are passive. Unless we analyze and get the numbers, we will not know its position. That is why interpretation is required. When we are comparing the balance sheet of 2-3 years, whether the company has injected more assets or the liability has gone up, and what is impact of net worth, whether the owner's equity, owner's position has gone up because of the accumulated profit and accumulated reserve. Same way, whether short-term liability has increased or long-term liability has increased, what is the asset position? Again, the assets we are taking here at the book value, not on today's market price for the non-current fixed assets. So that while we are analyzing, we have to take into account what is the contents of non-current assets and fixed assets. Comparative income statement, how the sales volume is growing, whether the sales volume is growing, according to that whether profitability is increasing, whether expenses are increasing in direct proportion to the sales volume. Only certain expenses, what are all the variable costs, will be increasing according to sales volume. The other expenses which are all fixed or semi-variable in nature will not be increasing because it's based on time. The example will be electricity charges, telephone charges, rent, security and administration expenses. Those things will not be increasing in terms with the sales volume. Only certain expenses like purchase price and processing costs, those things will be power will be increasing in direct proportion to production and sales. So how the income statement, how it is volume and how the gross profit and net profit changes for each increase or decrease in sales volume. The common size balance sheet, we are taking everything into the percentages, so that last year what is the percentage, current year what is the percentage. So by analyzing the cash flow, we will be able to have what is the impact in strategy of changing our policy. For example, the company at present extending 30 days credit to all their buyers. If they are increasing to 45 days, the sales volume will go up, the receivable will be increasing. On the receivable, they have to get funds. On that, the interest cost will be there, and there may be some bad debts also. On the other hand, on the increased sales volume, what will be the profit? That profit, whether it is comparing with whatever the interest and other expenses they are going to incur. So that impact will be able to analyze on long term as well as short term. So what will be the downstream cash flow for each decision? If the company wants to decrease the inventory, what will be the impact? If they are decreasing the inventory, the storage cost is less, the interest burden will be less, so that the company will be able to have more profitability. Same way, if they are able to have the supply chain management and the just-in-time approach, what impact it will be having on cash flow and profitability. So whether it's a small business or medium business, they have to do their strength, weakness and opportunity and threat analysis on the market and the product and how the pricing will be. How the technology changes will have an impact on the company's product and profitability. Assume the company is today adopting a technology which it is able to market it. Today, magic will become tomorrow's technology. 10 years before, we have not seen so much updation in information technology or internet or even mobile. 15 years before, mobile is just few. Today, everyone is without mobile, we are unable to even move around. So mobile and the laptop giving us all the information. Today, if you want to book a ticket, we are just going to the laptop. We don't go and stand in the queue. So all those gives us opportunity. Yesterday's magic has become today's technology. The technology should be a enabler for including ERP, how the companies can make the decision, including small and medium enterprises. They have to use the information technology to maximize their revenue and profitability. And the ratio, as I was saying, it is giving us the information, what is the position, what the accounting numbers, and it is compressing data into on a form where we are able to relate it to the previous year, to the industry and the unit, so that we will be able to make comparative performance and analysis. And the ratios are profitability ratios, turnover ratios, which is giving various information. So the ratios composition, we need not have technical background of debit and credit. With the whatever the numbers available in the balance sheet, by dividing we will be able to get all this information. So whether the revenue is efficiency, asset efficiency, business profitability, how the shareholders returns are growing, those aspects. And again, as I said, if you are able to reduce your operating cycle by reducing the inventory, by reducing the debtor, you will be able to manage it. Take the example of Nano. Tata is able to produce the car at cheaper price because all their accessory suppliers are in the same place. So they need not hold any inventory. Whenever they need the production, just in time they are able to get the processes, and the whole supply chain management, they are, by reducing the transport cost, inventory holding cost and interest burden, they are able to reduce the operating cycle, by in their cost is able to get reduced. So cost efficiency is today no longer a business, it is fast changing. Today the competition, in the competition today, price level will be decreasing to a large extent. Otherwise, as I was saying, today you can buy a laptop for 20,000. After 6 months, the price will be going down. How you are going to be competitive? In any of the businesses, one, technologically you can compete, or by reducing the price you can compete, or providing the service like the airlines, banking and telecom, you have to provide the quality service at reduced cost. So a comprehensive cost approach will be required so that you are able to be in the market and have a high growth. The message is you have to look behind the financial accounting information, the need to look behind cost accounting beyond what is available in the numbers, so that you are able to get the customers profitability, product profitability, segment profitability and the division profitability, especially customer profitability, whether you are supplying to the large customers or medium customers, to the companies or the individuals. If it is the individuals, how we are going to have a growth. Careful analysis of exiting activity related to competitors can pinpoint cost reduction opportunities by lowering the input cost, asserting sale economies and volume, so that you are able to be competing and using your capacity utilization better. Given the multiple drivers of relative cost, strategic cost management implies multiple initiatives. Different organizations must seek opportunities in all aspects, not only in particular what is the product you are making, how your competitor is making the product, because the competition is today invisible. Anyone can enter into any area. Today there is a way that the internet is doing the business on any activity. In fact, we used to say that by downloading in the Airtel is able to sell more music than the music manufacturers. So the competition is invisible, so we should be able to have a dynamic impact in all the activities and have a success. Best wishes. Thank you very much for giving the opportunity. Thank you. Good day.
Request Mr. Raju Iyer to please stay back on stage. I kindly request Group Captain Vijay Kumar to present a memento on behalf of Madras Management Association. Thank you, sir, for having taken your time and being present here.